This meeting to order. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2015, 7 p.m. Our invocation this evening will be by Lou Rosenberg.
Let us pray. Our Father, be with us tonight as we confer with each other, as we conduct the public's business. Help us to remember that it's the objective of each and every one of us in office and as citizens to try and advance the interests of our community and to do so in such a way that we appreciate each other's opinions, we respect each other's interests, and as we go forward, we remember who led us, who leads us, and we ask that we recognize that He died for us. In His name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. We have an established quorum: Councilman Rodriguez, Councilman Guerrero, Councilman Ortiz, and Councilman Tejada. Will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
At this time, do we have any citizens' comments?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Doug Jones, and I'm president of the Floresville Parks Foundation. And I've got a lot of comments I'd like to make to the folks behind me. But first off, the raffle sale for the balloon rides is going great. I've deposited over $1,000. And once I get the mayor's effort of what she did last Wednesday night, folks, the mayor came back not once, not twice, but 3 times. And hopefully in her possession, those 55 tickets that she took is an additional $275. I've got another board member that's got 20 tickets sold. Another board member is going to leave in the morning. He's got a family emergency that's going down, and he's going to leave. He's got some that he sold. And I wanted to say that one of the things that amazes me about Floresville residents, when we first set up at Tractor Supply, a gentleman came in, and we've got a little bucket. He threw a $20 bill in, and he said, sell those tickets twice. The residents of this city and the people that came by when we were at Tractor Supply, McCoy's, and Walmart donated, instead of buying tickets, amount of $140. So on behalf of the foundation, we thank you, and may the Lord bless everybody that threw that money in there. And I've still got about 500, 600 tickets that we need some help. The other thing that I would like to say is some of the residents didn't even know that the balloon spectacular was going on. And kudos to the newspaper, because on their section yesterday, they've got that big 1-page article on it. And folks, I think that's going to be a hoot. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doe.
I also have a citizen's comment. I'd like to wish my best friend happy birthday. My best friend being my husband, celebrating a birthday today. He puts up with an awful lot of me. Okay, we're going to go on to item 1A, consideration and action to approve the meeting minutes for regular council meeting on March the 26th, 2015.
I'm going to make the motion to approve the minutes of, for council meeting on March 26, 2015.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Do I have a second of that? Councilman Tejada and Councilman Ortiz? One.
A second.
Thank you.
I have a motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilman Ortiz. Councilman Tejada, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Nieto is not in today, and Councilman Guerrero was not here at that time.
Abstain.
Motion carries. 3. Now on to item 1B, consideration and action to approve meeting minutes for regular council meeting on April the 9th, 2015.
I have a question. Mr. Rosenberg, whenever we put item 2A in motion, wasn't there a stipulation that we were trying to go for, that Angelini was going to be one of the agencies, not the agency, not the only one, that we're going to choose a series of agencies to utilize?
Well, it says to select a talent agency, and A is not necessarily exclusive.
Okay, can we change the verbiage on that to still,
I mean, whatever we need to change it to conform to the motion
okay.
or amendment. In other words, you need, if I may, let's make a motion to either approve with an amendment, or make a motion to approve, and then we'll amend it whichever way you want to do it. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Approve the
I don't
minutes
have
with,
the agenda from the last meeting, so I can't see it. Do you have it there?
May I make a motion to table 1B?
Motion to table? Is that what you
Yes.
said?
I have a motion to table by Councilman Ortiz.
that's a preferential motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Then can we go ahead and,
I can look at you, I'll bring you the agenda item and the way it's worded, and then we can do them, I can change the wording the next time I bring it to council.
If it's appropriate.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Councilman Rodriguez, do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. Okay. Now we're going to go on to 2, which is presentation and discussion. And I'm going to move up some of these items. I'm going to move up our proclamations, starting with 3A, consideration and action to approve a proclamation for the Community Council of South Texas. Councilman Tejada, do I read that?
Which one is it?
This one. Mayor, we have a representative here from that organization, Mr. Dickey. Yeah, Councilman Tejada's going to read it.
The proclamation reads as is. Whereas the Community Council of South Central Texas was established as a community action agency on May 11, 1965, and the service area encompasses the South Central and Southwest Texas counties of Atascosa, Bandera, Comal, Edwards, Rio, Gillespie, Guadalupe, Carnes, Kendall, Kenny, Kerr, Live Oak, McMullen, Medina, Real, Uvalde, Valverde, Wilson, and Zavala, and community action agencies were created when the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 was signed into law. and community action agencies have a 51-year history of promoting self-sufficiency for the limited income, and community action agencies have made an essential contribution to individuals and families in Texas by providing them with innovative and cost-effective programs. And community action agencies are needed as a major participant in the reform of the welfare system as we know it, and welfare reform in Texas has benefited from the state's partnership with community action agencies. And the limited income continue to need opportunities to improve their lives and their living conditions, thus ensuring that all citizens are able to live in dignity. Whereas in Texas and the entire United States must continue to promote economic security by providing the support and opportunities for all citizens in need of assistance. Now therefore, in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Community Council of South Central Texas, I, Diana Garza, Mayor of Floresville, do hereby proclaim May 25th, 2015 as Community Action Month. Signed by the Honorable Diana Garza, City Mayor.
Mr. Dickens, do you have some words that you want to share?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council members. CCSCT, Community Council, South Central Texas, I'm sure you are aware, we house programs for Wilson County here in Floresville with our Community Services Program that does case management to transition low-income families out of poverty, utility assistance. Our WIC clinic is next door to this building that provides services to women and their infants and children. And we also have our senior meals program that does congregate meals and home-delivered meals out of the Knights of Columbus building here. And we recently were funded for other programs that are available here in Floresville and Wilson County. We have the Amy Young Barrier Removal Program, which provides services where we can pay up to $20,000 per home for an individual that lives in that home that's disabled. We can make that home accessible. We can also do some energy efficiency. And then we've also been funded to do home buyer assistance, home rehab, and tenant-based rental where we can pay rent for a client for up to 2 years. So we have a presence here in Floresville and Wilson County, and we appreciate the recognition by approving this resolution, or proclamation. So, thank you.
Well, thank you for all you do in Floresville and throughout Wilson County. One of my first jobs was with Community Council back many years ago. I was a summer intake for the summer program, summer youth employment program was called back then.
Wow, that's absolutely great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
I so move.
Second?
Second.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Rodriguez?
Yes.
This motion carries forward. Okay, now we're going to also skip over to item 3B, consideration and action to approve a proclamation for the Senior Olympics. Councilman Guerrero is going to read this.
The proclamation reads, whereas we salute our citizens now residing in nursing facilities and recognize the immeasurable contributions they have made to our society as truly respected generation that built the communities of the great state and nation into thriving centers of life. And whereas, in accordance with Nation Nursing Home Week, the Floresville Long-Term Care Facilities are sponsoring the week of Senior Olympics on May 11th, 2015 through May 15th, 2015. And now therefore, I, Mayor Diana Garza, by virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 15th, 2015 as Floresville Long-Term Care Senior Olympic Week. Furthermore, I urge all citizens to visit friends and loved ones who reside in these facilities and to help honor and serve the individuals who are such valued members of our community.
Did you want to talk about the parade and how the activities go in there, son?
Yes, we would like to invite each and every one of you, Mayor especially. I know you've been there before. It's a lot of fun. We do it all for the residents in our community here. I want to thank each and every one of you for everything that y'all do, and it's lots of fun. Just please come. I thank you and appreciate it on behalf of Regency Manor and the residents and our staff members.
And the parade is May the 11th.
May 11th. We start at Regency Manor. Second day, we have our events there. We hold 6 of them there. Then we move on to Floresville Nursing Home on Wednesday. We hold another 6 to 8 games there. Then we go to the Veterans Home. We also have events over there, about 6 of them. And then our last day on Friday, we have the dance, the medals awards, the bingo, and our barbecue.
So they're very competitive in the bingo.
Very competitive in bingo. It's a lot of hard work, but we enjoy it for all the residents. It's all for them in the community.
And anyone who wants to come out there on Friday to help with the bingo,
Please,
is more than welcome. It's a lot of fun.
it's a lot of fun.
Myself and Ms. Turner will be there.
I thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And we presented the proclamation on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Mhm.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Yeah. Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Councilman Guerrero, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Rodriguez?
Yes.
Madam Mayor,
I didn't hear the motion. Who made the motion?
I did.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Now we're gonna do the last one, and I don't think that they're here, but which is gonna be C, consideration and action to approve a proclamation for Teacher Appreciation Week, and Councilman Rodriguez will be leading that.
I'd first like to say that teachers play a key role in the success of our children. Teachers spend at times more time with our children than we as parents do at home. William Ward, an inspirational writer, quotes, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." So I say to continue inspiring our youth. Thank you. And as we continue, I'll read the proclamation, whereas teachers open children's minds to the magic of ideas, knowledge, and dreams, and whereas teachers keep American democracy alive by laying the foundation for good citizenship, and whereas teachers fill many roles as listeners, explorers, role models, motivators, and mentors, and whereas a strong, effective system of free public school education for all children and youth is essential to our democratic system of government, and whereas the United States has made considerable progress in the social, technological, and scientific fields due to our system of free and universal public education, and whereas much of this progress can be attributed to the qualified and dedicated teachers entrusted with the educational development of our children to their full potential, and whereas teachers should be accorded high public esteem, reflecting the value the community places on public education, and whereas PTAs on every level nationwide are keenly aware of the importance and the impact of teachers on children, and whereas it is appropriate that teachers be recognized for this dedication and commitment to educating their students, and whereas teachers continue to influence as long as our school days are only memories. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Floresville City Council does hereby proclaim May 4th through the 8th, 2015 as Teacher Appreciation Week for the city of Floresville, and urge all citizens to pay tribute to our public school teachers this 23rd day of April 2015. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, may I have a motion?
I'll go make the motion to approve the proclamation for Teacher Appreciation Week.
Okay, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Councilman Tejada, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Ortiz?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Okay, now we're going to go back up to item 2A, Eagle Scout Project, Enrique Montoya. Ms. Turner?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor and City Council, we were approached by Eagle Scout here in the city of Floresville to do something that I know is part of the viewers, mayor, mine, as well as the council, to make some improvements to our hiking bike trail. So he's here to, Secretary's passing out some pictures, and he's here to talk about what he did. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for your time. My name is Enrique Montoya. I am a resident of Floresville, Texas, and I'm a Life Scout of Floresville Boy Scout Troop 114. As of 2015, this marks my 7th year in scouting. I first joined the Boy Scouts of America in May of 2008, and I've learned many things that will help me through life, and I'll never forget. This past January, I recently approached the Alamo Area Council Eagle Board with this project. And I recently approached the city manager, Ms. Henrietta Turner, in order to assemble and install 3 park benches onto the Floresville, the El Camino Real de los Tejas National Historic Trail. And after I got it approved by the Alamo Area Council Eagle Board, I began working on it, and I had all the materials for it donated by the business of Ditmar Lumber here in Floresville, Texas, and I got the metal donated by a private welder who works for CPS. And in order to even start off this project, after approval is granted, Scout such as myself must then demonstrate leadership in planning, developing, and performing an Eagle Scout project that he chooses and designs. When the project is completed, as I completed the project along with help from family members and other boys from the troop on March 22nd, 2015. And after it is finished, I had to fill out the rest of the paperwork, and then I must go back for a final Eagle Board review as to be scheduled by my Scoutmaster. And after the approval is granted, the paperwork is processed through the National Scout Committee and the Chief Scout Executive. And when the decision is made final, I will be officially awarded the rank of Eagle Scout, which is a very prestigious award through only 6.5% of all Boy Scouts in the world. It is a worldwide organization. Only 6.5% of young boys earn the rank of Eagle Scout, for it is very hard, and I feel very proud. And I myself would like to profoundly thank the City of Floresville for allowing me to perform this project, so that I may attain this prestigious title. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we're going to go on to item 2B, Investment Advisor Linda Patterson, Patterson and Associates. Ms. Turner, or?
Mayor Garza and council members, thank you for having me here today. I would like to give you just a little bit of background on Patterson and Associates and give you an idea where I'm coming from. I actually started in government myself, local government, which is very near and dear to my heart, as a assistant to the mayor and to the city manager in the city of Fort Lauderdale. But my longest tenure was with the city of Fort Worth, where I was the treasurer of Fort Worth for many years. After I left Fort Worth, I went to the state, and I was your deputy state treasurer under King Billy Hutchison for several years. And at that point, after 20 years in government, I moved over to form my own firm, which is something that is very important, I think, to local governments, and that is making sure that the money that you have, the assets that you have, obviously the first and most important asset of a city is its people. But secondly, the funds that you're entrusted with, that you have the fiduciary responsibility for, it's important to make sure that they work for you, and that's what investment advisors do. I know that you have other kinds, and sometimes it's a little confusing as to how many advisors do I need and what were their roles. You have obviously a debt advisor, also called a municipal advisor, a financial advisor, and that side of the investment and financial area is to make sure that they can help you set up the debt, issue the debt, make sure that you're getting a cost-effective debt issuance. Then on the other side is the investment advisor, and investment advisors are a little different than anyone else in the investment area because we're not like brokers. We're not allowed to sell anything. The SEC provisions and regulators that regulate investment advisors establish an investment advisor just as if it's another investment officer for you. So our main goal is to work with you, work with your staff, making sure that you have very safe, liquid money. They're able to pay the bills, but also to make sure that the money is used and is invested wisely in accordance with your safety parameters. I know that I have met one of your council members before through TML. In fact, I was teaching at TML this morning. I'll go back and teach tomorrow morning. I do all the investment training for TML and for many of the regional educational centers around the state. I was actually very, very, well, I was one of the co-authors of the Public Funds Investment Act back in '87 and have been real active because I believe in local governments. We love to work with local governments. In fact, my firm only works with governments, cities, counties, school districts, airports, hospitals, you name it. And so I'd love to be able to work with you and make sure that your money is working hard and most importantly, that it is safe. And being very, very conservative, but also very proactive in making sure that your portfolio is one that can help the city with all of the great projects that I see on your agenda tonight, as well as the projects that you have going on through town. I'd be glad to answer any questions about my background or how an investment advisor works with your staff, if you have any questions.
How many do you have in your staff?
There are 5 of us, and we are managing approximately $5.5 billion now for about 40 different public entities in the state. And we also have clients Minnesota, Illinois, New Mexico, and Arizona. So we do cover the range, and we're a little different in that we also believe that when we help an entity, when we come to work with the city or any of our clients, we become staff to you. And we become extended staff so that we help with any other things for Treasury that come up. Banking contracts, looking at them, evaluating them, your policies, your procedures, your cash handling. All of that is part of the Treasury operation and therefore very important to you and to the safety of your funds.
Do you deal with retirement accounts also?
No, we don't. I made the decision early on with the firm that we don't deal with retirement money. Retirement money is very different. It's very long-term. The asset liability mix is very different. So we focus only on operating funds, capital improvement projects, pension money, insurance money, bank money. That's all over into the stock market as opposed to us focusing on the fixed income. Basically following the state law, treasuries, agencies, money markets are where we focus, and that helps us because all of our clients are governmental entities. It helps us then focus on those particular markets and really find the good value there. And that's important because obviously cities can't take a lot of risk with their funds, so they have to be very safe, and that's part of being in the fixed income market and making that very short money, which has been so drastically low in rates over the last couple of years, and hopefully it will start going up this year, that we can help make that a little bit more productive.
And you're accessible in 12 months to our staff. They have
Oh,
questions.
yes, yes. What we love to do is have that communication going all the time. There are two kinds of investment managers and advisors, one that is discretionary or has discretion over your funds, one that has non-discretion. So I have structured the firm in such a way that everything we do is non-discretionary. And that's because we need to be talking to your staff constantly, seeing what your cash flow needs are, when do you need the money, where can we safely extend the money a little bit. Those kinds of things are very important, and we can't just make decisions for you. In fact, every transaction is run through your staff to make sure that they agree with it, and most importantly, that they understand it. Also, we never touch any client's money. We never touch any client's securities, so that you can be assured that you have total control over the portfolio at all times, which is so very important. Because ultimately, it's the council that has that great responsibility for all of the funds.
There's no motion to presentation.
Sorry, the wrong page here. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Turner. 2C, City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council, I really appreciate it. I am proud to announce that attached is a flyer, there are some on the table to advertise our May 7th, 2015 National Day of Prayer. It's also going to be on our website. We've sent it over to the Wilson County News. But I've also spoken to Mr. Gordon Lindley, who is our police chaplain, and he's going to take a key role in getting enough focus so that we can have someone to speak to and pray on all 7 areas of influence in our society. And so Mr. Lindley, I met with him again this morning. He's going to be following up and helping us put together a program. It's here, May 7th, 6:30, at our memorial wall there, and we're having the lights fixed because I think some of the lights went out. So we'll have that all repaired, and we're inviting the public to come out to the National Day of Prayer, and I want to thank Councilman Tejada for bringing it forward. It did pass the City Council, and we are moving forward with the National Day of Prayer for May 7th. May seems to be a good month for us. The USDA application, announcement went out today. In case you didn't know, the City of Floresville has been awarded 9.4, we're right at $10 million in reference to our efforts that we've been putting together for our application. And we're going to have an announcement to let everyone know that we are participating in the Build Out Texas. That the city of this great state of Texas has received $70 million. Of that $70 million, $10 million of it will be set aside for the City of Floresville. We've also been encouraged to apply for a secondary water application in somewhere in around between $2.5 to $3 million, and we'll be pursuing that as well with M&S, our engineering firm, on the water side. Republic has offered to sponsor our lunch at our event center following this presentation that will happen at the high school at 10:30. We're having some children there to present some of their Earth Day events and activities. We have some keynote speakers that will be there. Congressman Henry Cuellar will be there. A host of our local and national, even federal communities leaders are coming out to celebrate with the City of Floresville on this great endeavor. So I'm really proud of that. So many as a good year. A good month. It was brought to my attention also, and thank you to Wilson County News, about the World Heritage Site here. I will say it in English. It is the Scope Mission. Mayor, would you please say it in Spanish for me? One more time. Yeah. is actually being a member for, nominated for a local landmark for us, but also getting national attention that is actually up for a national nomination, which means it will rank up there with the pyramids and things such as that. So we're hoping that that moves forward, and congratulations for that. And one of the oldest Spanish missions, and the full article that was in the Wilson County Times is attached to my report. Last but not least is training. Please forgive my typo. The training we're trying to schedule is for April 30th, not May 30th, but May is my favorite month. It's Mother's Day too in that month. That's a good month. April 30th, we're hoping that we can come up with a training. One of the requirements of the USDA is that they have the city elected officials, yourselves, be trained in the Open Meetings Act and be trained in freedom of information. I know some of you have had training, but they're asking for the most updated training. So we thought we would have everybody in the room together. It's a 2-hour meeting, 1 hour training for each one. We can watch the video together. We're going to invite our other entities, 4A and 4B, as well as planning and zoning to come and participate in this, so we're going to get the certificate together. But it's really important that our council have that certificate. I know you've done it before, but we need to do it again and have the most recent one. So we're requiring for 2015, we need to have it for 2015. If you're not able to make the meeting, then you can do this at home in your leisure, but we do need to have this rounded up done by May 15th. So this is one of the things that they're requiring us to do. The bond council meeting, I've been able to tentatively schedule them. Your bond council, hopefully once you vote tonight, as well as your financial advisor, to come up with a secondary meeting for May 6th. It fits on their calendar. Is that right, Mr. Carrillo?
Yes.
Yes. So it fits on his calendar. We want to know if you can make it on your calendar to come with 4A to this meeting to allow them to come up and have the second part of the bond for the restructuring of the event center. So I just need to have an indication if you can make those 2 dates meetings, then we can post those agendas. April 30th is a Thursday, is that correct? And May 6th is a Wednesday, is that right?
Yes. Wednesday.
May 6th is a Wednesday. So the 30th is the last day of this month. That we can do it, and then May 6th. And I did hear from Jeff Kuhn earlier this evening, and he said that he's made arrangements to make that on his calendar as well, the 6th of May. I just need you to let me know, so we can put in the record that you agreed to this meeting of April 30th and May 6th.
That's fine with me.
Is that fine? Great, then we'll post those. And again, I want to thank the City Council for trusting staff to get this thing done in reference to the USDA. We worked very hard, and I want to thank my staff publicly for all the work that they have done and all the work they're going to do to get this thing done. Thank you, Mayor. End of my report.
Okay, we're going to go on to item 2D, our financials for March 2015, revenue expense, fund balances, sales tax report. Mr. Connie waits for all names.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman. I want to make it this short because I've been battling bronchitis and I don't want to lose my breath. So as you see, the front page is the same as every month. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. On the report, I have also attached the current sales tax spreadsheet for your review, and also the printed financials. Is there anything?
What was the amended amount on the hotel motel fund for $120,000?
Amended amount?
It says amended budget, 12202.
No. I put on that column amended budget because we have done several amendments. But there was no amendment on hotel motel tax.
Okay, hotel motel fund.
Fine. Well, that's a transfer that we're gonna do to Civic Center. remember, but it's not sure. I just went ahead and I added there because we had already budgeted for it. But we're not sure if we're gonna do that transfer. It's for the operating of the civic center.
If we still put it on there, they have an amendment.
Right, because it was put on as a transfer. Questions? What, the transfer? No, I have to approve it, I have to do it. But I won't do it if it's not necessary, and I will let you know before I do it.
You want to roughly cover the sales tax?
The 120,000? No, those 120,000, the purpose?
No, if you could review the sales tax in a second.
Oh,
That is, we went down.
you have a question on it?
Oh, just, because it went down because
Yes, remember last month it was a little higher? And that's what I've been talking about. It's gonna be going up and down through the months. Hopefully it will not go more down than up.
But it's still higher than last year.
Yeah, it's still higher than last year. So we're still gonna see an increase.
Do you have a separate page, Charlie, for 4A and 4B?
Yes, sir.
Is it on here?
No,
No?
I only include the city. I only include the city.
Okay,
At the year end, that's when I give you everything.
okay.
would it be hard to include it as that?
No, it won't. If you request it, I will include
Would
it.
you like to see that?
Please, please.
Sure. Mhm. Any more questions? That will conclude my presentation,
Thank you.
short presentation.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you very much. Well, the doctor said I'm developing asthma. After 5 years of moving to San Antonio, it's what's happening.
And I need to move to Floresville and you won't have it.
Right? Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go on to item D, consideration and action to approve the final plat for Tower Hills project. Mindy?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. We have a very simple final plat subdivision here for Tower Hill Estates. There's 8 lots, one being a tower site which will remain. There's no water, there's no sewer, it's in the ETJ. It has been city engineered, reviewed and approved. The utilities are Oak Hill, and the county has also approved the preliminary plat and was approved by P&Z at a special meeting on March 15th. And we have the owner and the engineer here if you have any questions.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Jason Stout. I'm with Rackwoods Engineering, and I am representing Mr. Rose on this project.
Will Rose, Livonia.
Which one's County Road 301? Is that the one that goes behind the
Randolph Brooks and
McCoy Center?
yes.
Basically the site where the tower is,
Yes.
where the Livonia Wi-Fi. Eight lots? 8 lots?
Yes, sir.
Is it in the flood zone?
No, it is not.
probably know it's in the ETJ, I guess you noticed that, and Monday is tentatively scheduled to go to the Commissioner's Court also, which has gone through the Wilson County Subdivision Committee also.
Is this property, is it restricted?
Yes, sir. Double wide homes or site-built homes are no single line.
Okay. P&G didn't have any issues with these lots that are set back in that are, what are the dimensions on that easement that goes?
75 foot wide.
75
Yeah,
foot.
which is,
I think the minimum is 40 feet. Those are called flag lots.
Is that correct? Yeah. The minimum is 40 on
Road frontage.
road frontage?
Yes.
Okay, so it goes from 40 foot all the way to the back end.
Then it opens up.
Opens up.
The only entrance would be off of County Road 301, according to the retail center.
Septic? City? Septic?
permits to the county.
That's why it's going to go through the county. They're reviewing septic.
Correct.
Mayor, I'll move to approve the final plat for the Tower Hills project.
Yeah, motion, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Ortiz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Bennell?
Yes.
The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I say something about the matter now that the council voted? You're going to be asked later this evening to deal with the issue of sewer again. And I'd like to mention to you that in the footnotes of the item you just approved, because it's outside the CCN, the Certificate of Convenience and Necessity of the city, and because it's in the ETJ, the county has provided for approval of septic systems for utilization, and that would conform with your San Antonio adopted standards. The one thing that we need to be a little careful about, as it come up again, thank you for letting me talk again, is there is no provision in this approval for the elimination of these septics. And that's one of the issues that in the ETJ and our new interlocal we do need to address.
So you're saying that we should have entertained that in the form of a
Not
motion?
at this point, it's not in our CCN, so we're not in a position, it's not in our CCN to say we can serve it. But we need to be anticipating the fact that once it is something we can serve, well, once we expand our CCN, we should be able to deliver service out there, and we need to be thinking about the fact that that's part of our planning process. We'll come back to that subject on a later item.
Does that mean they will not be grandfathered in since they were approved prior?
I need to explain this word grandfather. We all have grandfathers. And so I mean that respectfully. But under the Vested Property Rights Act, subsection 8, for anybody that wants to look me up, says that utilities are not vested rights. And health and safety requirements, particularly as to sewer, can require that people connect, parties connect, if and when there's an opportunity to be connected to public utilities. facilities. So these are not permanently vested, not under state law.
So in other words, if we annexed and extended our services out in that direction, they would be,
We could require a connection.
Does that have to be put in writing?
would that have to be done
It'd be a
on an
lot
individual
cleaner,
basis?
it'd be a lot cleaner if we made that a part of our process when we went through P&Z. But this was not an area in our CCN, so we really were sort of without jurisdiction. We have a later item on the agenda tonight that's in our CCN, and I'll address that when we get there, and so will Mr. Hyman. But to answer your question in one word, yes.
Okay. Now we're going to go on to item 3E, consideration and action to approve the final plat for the Ullman subdivision. Ms. Mindy?
Yes, this is, it's gonna be a little over 2 acre tract that's gonna be divided into 3 single-family residential lots. We had the developer here, engineer, sorry. We have, Mr. Harmer has reviewed this also, and they've installed all the water installations, all the fees have been paid, the city standards for all the lots have been met, so we are recommending this to get approved.
Is that where the little house is at? That's in there?
Yes, yes, ma'am. My name is Russell Juskina. I'm here for Mr. Ullman, and I work with Intrepid Surveying and Engineering here in Floresville.
Now that is in the flood zone, though, right?
Ma'am?
That was fixed.